Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tales and Thrills. Today, we're diving deep into the sands of Egypt for a killer classic, The Mummy, 1999, directed by Stephen Sommers. A perfect mix of adventure, horror, and humor, this movie gave us ancient curses, flesh-eating scarabs, and one of the most charming heroes in horror adventure history, Rick O'Connell, played by the legendary Brendan Fraser. But tonight, we're not just exploring tombs. We're counting the bodies left behind in this supernatural desert disaster. This is The Mummy, 1999, Kill Count. We open in the ancient city of Thebes, around 1290 BC, where the high priest Imhotep is having an affair with Ankh-Su-Namun, the pharaoh's mistress. When they're caught, she kills herself, and Imhotep is mummified alive, the worst fate imaginable. They carve open his chest, toss in flesh-eating scarabs, and seal him in a cursed sarcophagus. The priests who helped him are also buried alive, wrapped tight in linen, left to scream in eternal darkness. Our first wave of deaths? About a dozen priests, all sacrificed to punish one man's forbidden love. Cut to the 1920s, where we meet Rick O'Connell, a soldier who stumbles across the lost city of Hamunaptra, the city of the dead. It's the kind of place you don't just find by accident, unless destiny, or a curse, wants you to. We also meet Evelyn Carnahan, a brilliant but clumsy librarian obsessed with ancient Egypt, and her troublemaking brother Jonathan. They team up with Rick to find the lost treasures of Hamunaptra. What they find instead is death. Their journey kicks off with one of the movie's best sequences, the desert standoff between Rick and S crew and a rival group of American treasure hunters. Gunfire erupts, men scream, and the hot sands of Egypt claim at least half a dozen fortune seekers. The survivors think they're lucky. They're wrong. When the explorers reach Hamunaptra, they uncover cursed artifacts. And that's when things take a deadly turn. Evelyn reads from the Book of the Dead, accidentally awakening Imhotep from his eternal slumber. The winds roar, the sand screams, and suddenly, our undead high priest is back, flesh rotten, eyes sunken, but thirsting for power. The curse begins immediately. The first to fall? A terrified warden, who gets trapped and devoured by scarabs crawling under his skin. It's a death that's equal parts horrifying and iconic. Then come the Americans, each carrying one of the sacred canopic jars holding Ankh-Su-Namun's organs. Imhotep needs those jars and the souls of the men who stole them. One by one, he hunts them down. The first American loses his eyes and tongue in a shadowy tomb scene that's pure nightmare fuel. The sound of squishing flesh, his helpless screams. It's the moment the mummy goes full horror. Imhotep regains sight and speech, piece by piece, from the men he kills. The next two victims meet equally gruesome fates. One drained dry by a sandstorm kiss, the other cornered by plagues of locusts. Their bodies are left shriveled like dried parchment as the high priest grows stronger with every kill. Meanwhile, Cairo descends into chaos. Imhotep unleashes the 10 plagues of Egypt, blood-red water, locusts, boils, and death in every street. The citizens chant his name in unison, their eyes glowing as he commands them like puppets. Every scene is dripping with biblical terror, and every step brings him closer to resurrecting his lost love. Evelyn becomes the key to his plan. She resembles Ankh-Su-Namun, and Imhotep decides she will serve as the vessel to bring his queen back to life. He kidnaps her, and Rick goes full action hero mode, blasting mummies, outrunning sandstorms, and fighting off undead priests. Let's not forget Benny, the cowardly guide who switches sides and serves Imhotep for protection, a decision that doesn't end well for him. In one of the film's most suspenseful sequences, Rick and Evelyn infiltrate Hamunaptra to stop the resurrection ritual. The body count spikes again, gunfights with undead priests, explosions, collapsing tunnels, and even the scarabs make a gruesome comeback. Soldiers get swarmed, ripped apart, and buried alive under mountains of gold and stone. The undead army may be ancient, but they're still deadly. Evelyn is moments away from being sacrificed when Rick interrupts, slicing through mummies and decapitating guards like a one-man army. Jonathan fumbles with the Book of Amun-Ra, the only weapon that can destroy Imhotep for good. As Evelyn distracts the resurrected high priest, Jonathan recites the spell, and the ghostly guards turn on their master. Imhotep's final moments are a mix of tragedy and poetic justice. Stripped of his immortality, he falls into the black waters of his own tomb, whispering, "Death is only the beginning." With his fall, the city of the dead collapses, killing any remaining undead and treasure hunters still trapped inside. Rick, Evelyn, and Jonathan barely escape as the desert swallows the ruins whole. And that, my friends, brings our total to a staggering 56 confirmed kills, from cursed priests to treasure hunters, from innocent victims to armies of the undead. Not bad for a movie that manages to be both adventure and horror all in one. But what makes The Mummy, 1999, so timeless isn't just the kills. It is the balance of tone. It's a love letter to old-school monster movies with a dash of Indiana Jones and a lot of heart. Brendan Fraser's charisma carries the film, Rachel Weisz shines as the clever and brave Evelyn, and Arnold Vosloo as Imhotep is unforgettable. A monster who feels both terrifying and tragically human. The visual effects, though dated by today's standards, were groundbreaking at the time. The sand face sequence, iconic, the scarab swarm, traumatizing, the resurrection of Imhotep, pure cinema magic. And through it all, the tension between life, death, and destiny gives the film its pulse. By the end, The Mummy isn't just a horror film. It is a story about love that defies time, greed that destroys, and courage that survives. The kills may be spectacular, but the heart of the movie lies in its adventure, its humor, and its haunting reminder that the past never truly dies. And that wraps up today's count. Explorers. If you made it this far without a scarab crawling under your skin, congratulations. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that cursed bell so you never miss another Tales and Thrills kill count. Next time, we'll be diving into another horror classic that refuses to stay buried. Until then, keep your torches lit, your books closed, and your souls intact. Because in the world of tales and thrills, death is only the beginning.